Good morning to you, the drag racing fan from NHRA, PDRA, Funny Car Chaos, and certainly Southeast Gassers Association, which we are going to be diving into this morning right here in studio. Hello, I'm Lee Kraft, host of the Monday Morning Racer YouTube channel, and this live Between the Slicks. We're going to have Mr. Leslie Horne on in just a few moments. The winner of the Knoxville Dragway competition for Southeast Gassers Association drag racing, event number 1, the early summer edition, if you will. And he's also the series owner. So he gets his first win. We'll have an interesting chat with him also as he is getting settled in as the new series owner and how things are rocking along from old Rocky Top and beyond in the world of Southeast Gassers Association drag racing. Beyond that, not only are we going to talk with Leslie, but you can see the action from Knoxville Dragway, in particular, the A-Gas category. That coverage is on the Monday Morning Racer platform. If you have not seen it, you can swing by the YouTube channel and see it now. It is up. It is live. You can see round by round action and hear from the drivers and get an update on where A-Gas is rolling into the event there at Knoxville Dragway for race number 4. You know, I was talking with Leslie off camera. We'll bring him on in just a few moments. I find it quite interesting. I look at that video. I think it's a well-done video. Not because I did it, but I think it's a well-done video. It gives you the storylines. It gives you the action, a couple different camera angles, and yet it's got like 6 dislikes. What is happening on YouTube? What is wrong with some of you people out there? By the way, hit the like button, hit the share button, dive into that comment section right here on Between the Slicks as we talk Southeast Gasser Association drag racing. Then, once we're done with Leslie, we'll dive into some drag racing news. Obviously, the NHRA is in action this weekend in the state of Tennessee. They go to the Big Valley track, Knoxville Dragway, beautiful facility. Never been there before until last weekend, and it really is a mini Bristol. And then Bristol this weekend, Thunder Valley. The NHRA is there. Drag racing happening across the world. The Australians, the Aussies, they are having their U.S. Nationals, if you will, their big drag race this weekend as well. So if you're a drag racing fan, search the web and look for some Australian drag racing. Pay attention to competitionplus.com. Definitely there will be news from down under on what is happening down the strip. And by the way, we want to welcome the CompetitionPlus.com audience on Facebook. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button, hit the share button, chime in. And we also want to say thank you to McKinny Corp. This show is presented by McKinny Corp. Every time I roll into that place, there is something that is unique. There is something that is astounding in the sense of fabrication that they are working on. The last time that I was there, you had funny cars being worked on. You had A-Fuel dragsters being worked on. You had so many projects from Caterpillar to Subaru, you name it. And very quickly, I want to show you some of the work that they do. This not related directly to race cars because McKinny Corp does also have the commercial and or industrial side to it. So Boyce Industries is connected to McKinny Corp. Murph has some ownership within that company, and Boyce Industry is a company that does tube bending, round tubing, square tubing. They can bend up your frame rail, for example, for your hot rod or for your race car. But they were needing some parts machined and diving into the heavy metal for Boyce Industries and their tooling. This is being machined at McKinny Corp. I don't have a finished product of these, but I can give you an example. You can see these hunks of steel. They're not going to be cut down any further. They were on the water jet there at McKinny Corp, and then they're going to be put on the Haas machines at McKinny Corp and machined down. You want to talk about rocking on in the heavy metal world. That is certainly it. I mean, at least 3-4 inches thick. But here is type of the quality of machining that can be done at McKinny Corp. Now, it might be a simple block, but you're talking about hours of machining and drilling and tapping, and they do all that type of work there at McKinny Corp. So it's funny cars and even into the industrial sector there at McKinny Corp. They build winners and they craft solutions. We'll take a break, and right after the break, the winner in A-Gas at Knoxville Dragway, Mr. Leslie Horne. This word from Destroyer 1320.
If you own a beautiful modern muscle car like this 1320 Challenger, I'm sure you don't want it stolen. Because the Challenger and many other modern vehicles have an easily accessible neutral release strap. That was your coin holder in your central console, and beneath that there's this red cord that someone can pop, put it into neutral, and potentially easily steal your car. But at Destroyer1320.com, they have the TDS, Theft Deterrent System, which is a cover over that strap using factory mounting points so that you don't get popped by a thief. So make sure to go to Destroyer1320.com using promo code MMR for 15% off and get your Theft Deterrent System TDS and steal the thieves' hope.
Boom! The winner in A-Gas, finally back in victory lane. It had been a little while, Mr. Horne.
Yeah, it had been a while. I was looking earlier, Lee, and I think it was the last race of Knoxville at the end of the season last year. So it's been, I don't know, 7 or 8, maybe 9 races. It's been a while since I've been able to put one in victory circle. I tell you, these classes are tough. All of them's tough, as we'll find out if we talk today and how fast some of these cars are. It's unreal at how stiff the competition is getting. And we're not talking about just an A-Gas. We're talking about from super stock all the way up. It's crazy. It's a tough time out there.
Man, fascinating storylines happening throughout the world of drag racing. But if you just highlight, as we are right now, Southeast Gassers Association drag racing, storylines abound in each and every category. Jerry Dean is absolutely whipping everyone down there in super stock. Colby Welch, I was shocked to see him. Like, dude, we're in Tennessee. Where's your car? And he's like, we're waiting on parts. And you got one of the, big competitors in his category not out there. You got the struggles of Tim Hall right now, defending champion, and he's not out there getting it done and, clicking off win lights like he was last year or the year before that. And then 4 different winners in A-Gas. Wow, what a testament to how competitive the fastest and quickest gassers on the property when Sega rolls into a drag strip are right now.
It is crazy how competitive all of them are, how close they are, and it goes back to Quayne, some of the rules that he put in place to keep us all there. Just like we had Gabe, he went to Ohio, he come to this race. He's got a new power plant that he's working on a little bit, is make a little more power. Sometimes a little more power takes you a little while to get used to it, and he would have been there. Something happened, and I don't get to watch him, Lisa. I don't know who does what, but I was surprised not to see him there in the end somewhere. I don't know how far he made it. I'm sure he made it through several rounds, but we look forward to getting him back out there and getting him back up to speed. And I know he'll be there, no problems soon. I hope he can make it to Union and do some testing and figure out that other little bit of power that he's got.
Yeah, he certainly does have, after freshening up the motor, a little bit more steam because not able to back it up. Nonetheless, he dipped out into new record territory in that A model. So several folks were knocking on new record territory. The cars are quick. The cars are fast. And yeah, Gabe made the semifinals, lost against Chase. It got a little bit out of shape with him. That Model A of his, he knows it's not going to go straight often, but this one didn't go straight enough, and he got toward the center line. It didn't make the wall move. It made the center line move, interestingly enough. But Chase, and look, right there, let's dive in on Chase. Chase Howard, I don't have him on the show. Need to get him on the show eventually and talk to him about the journey that he was going through. Wow. Rex in Ohio in the final round, ton of effort to get that car out there at Knoxville. And it's like that wreck helped him out. They said they stiffened it up. It likes it. And he went the probably quickest and fastest he's gone. Qualified number 2, makes another final round. Tremendous effort.
Yes, it's hard to believe what them guys done to get that car ready, to get it there. I mean, they worked from the time they got home on Sunday from Ohio. The car had a whole lot more damage than what it looked like in the video. looking at it from the outside, looking at it, he just, barely grazed the wall. But I mean, it knocked the motor mount side up, knocked the motor out of it. The bell housing was bent. I mean, it bent the cross member for the ladder bars. It bent the front frame rail. It bent the back frame rails. I mean, it's amazing at how much they got done in such a short period of time. They had, good people working with them. I think it was Mr. Sloan, and they had Scotty Cannon helping them a lot, and Tim and Chase, they worked around clock. And I talked to Chase, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday of last week, and he said he had worked 15 hours straight on it trying to get it done. And for the car to look as good as it looked on the track too was kind of astounding to me too, how they got everything kind of put back together. And, and even their duct tape, where they used the duct tape, they used the red, white, and blue. And I mean, it was just amazing to see the car there. And then on top of that, for it to perform the way that it performed, I mean, I couldn't believe it. I don't think they could believe it. I don't think others could believe it, but the car performed excellent. I mean, it was the fastest car there. Probably. He had his backup engine in there, the same one that he let me borrow in Shady Side. He went some good numbers. He went within 300ths of the record, which, saying that, I mean, there was 5 or 6 of them that was within 2 or 300ths of the record. So it was just a shocker at how well the car done and how good they got the car back and how quick they got it back and how he didn't get frustrated. I mean, it was, when I talked to him on Tuesday or Wednesday, I could tell he was getting a little frustrated. He couldn't get stuff done. And when you're in a hurry like that, you're down to the end, you just think nothing's going to be right, And I know he was not wanting to put his spare engine in there. I know he wanted his primary engine in there, but I'm telling you, as good as that the backup engine ran, I mean, I can't imagine when he gets his primary in there, it should be really, really good for him.
It should be. I have to agree. The car looked great. I mean, this is obviously a backwards shot, but you look towards the front, you can't tell that there's any damage there. You had to get up close on his USA 1 Chevelle to see any battle damage. Honestly, the duct tape, it did look right. It was in the right place from the gray duct tape on the bumper and red and white, as you said. And it added just a little bit of character even when you get up close, that this car has been through it. It's come back and it's performing well. Tremendous effort, great storyline. And that's why I led off with it, giving the recap of who's won, and that we're going to have possibly a 4th different winner, but going straight to Chase, being number 2 qualifier. What a great story, and what a testament for the competitors and the people that want to do this and where they want to do it. I mean, Leslie, you got an individual there that they want to hustle that much to race, not at an NHRA national event, not at a PDRA national event, not at any other place in drag racing quite like that. They want to race at Sega and put that effort in.
That's exactly right. And the thing is, too, is whenever he was down, whenever he did crash, I mean, there was a lot of comments online about, he should have clutched or he should have done this. You got all those armchair warriors. But, I mean, the truth is, whenever we leave the line, we are all a controlled wreck to be wrecked. That's what it boils down to. None of us wants to live. All of us is there to win. But that's not the biggest thing. The biggest thing is the family that comes together that offers to lend stuff. I mean, Chase was telling me the people that called, offered to help, offered to give him stuff, offered to lend him stuff. I called. Quayne reached out to him. Brian reached out to him. Everybody reached out to him to get this car ready to go. And then keep in mind now, Brian's working on my car too, but still he took the time to get Chase ready. And not only Chase, there's a bunch of them, but it's just I don't know how to explain it with the Southeast Gassers. It's like when one's down, all of us is down, and it's like we want the next guy to be out there. I just don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say, Lee, but it's just unreal at the amount of effort that goes forth from not just chasing his wreck, but it's just to get to the races in general. I mean, at the day and time that we're in now, I mean, let's face it, it's tough to get to some of these races. I mean, the price of everything, we can talk about that all day, but I'm just, the effort that everybody that shows up, I mean, it just makes me feel so good when I see people pull through the gate. I want to go up and hug all of them. I just can't, but that's, I mean, we can talk about that all day, Lee, so probably need to move on talking about the race cars because I'll get sidetracked.
No, it is great. The people within Sega and what they're willing to come together and do. And even towards me, people are very appreciative of the coverage and effort put forward. And I see that to other individuals in media as well. All of that is a testament to the quality of people that are racing within the Southeast Gassers Association. I'm surprised they let you buy it, Leslie. I really do. No. So, yeah. Leslie, look, Knoxville Dragway, my first visit up there. Let's dive in on specifics about Tennessee, that fan base, that track. First of all, let's start with that excess power you've got there on the hood of your car. They stepped up and they've been helping out, and in particular with the race there at Knoxville. Yes, they did. They stepped up there at the last minute, and they gave 4 jump boxes, and this is not a cheap jump box. This is an expensive jump box. Give one to every racer, which was really cool of them. They're doing some stuff at the banquet this year. They're helping a little bit along when they can. Great to have them on. We got to thank Wes Clapp for helping us get hooked up with those guys there. Wes that owns the drag strip there, him and his wife, and just they really support us, and they really do a lot to promote the races and stuff, and much appreciated to them. But yeah, I'm glad to have Excess Battery on with us, along with all the rest of the fine sponsors that we've got too. Yeah, they're a Knoxville, Tennessee company. That is good to see them supporting drag racing there at Knoxville Dragway, and in extension, the Southeast Gassers Association. So you look at the schedule, if I remember correctly, Shadyside, the de facto home of the Southeast Gassers Association, and then Knoxville Dragway are the only two that have 2 dates on the calendar where the retroactive drag racing circus of the Southeast Gassers Association is going to roll through and pitch their tent. And I understand why now. Knoxville Dragway is a beautiful little setting. Someone said it's like a mini Bristol, and it really is like a mini Bristol. And you had a very energetic fan base at that place. They knew the cars, they knew the drivers, they were pulling for particular ones, they were jeering against particular individuals. It was a very well-informed, engaged, energetic, also hungry crowd there at Knoxville Dragway. Yes, I know what you're talking about on the hungry. But anyway, yeah, it was it's the crowd, it's the fans, it's the setting. The Southeast Gassers was designed to look, pre-67. When Quayne started out doing this, he done it, basically as a show, to put on a show, and it's turned into a major drag race organization since then. But that facility fits our mold of what we're trying to do. And then not only that, the owners, Wes and Christy, you couldn't ask for nobody to be no more supportive and help us, and communication. And I think Wes talks to Randy, at least once a week all the time. And just the appreciation that they have for us to be there is likewise the appreciation we are to be there. I think that's what does it. We had rain, and, Southeast Gassers to be able to go and do what we've done this year. Every race we went to, Lee, it's rained. Every one of them. It's either rained out Friday night or it's rained a couple of times during the day. So I don't know. Somebody wants to plant a garden, and they'll just, wherever we're coming, just, plant that garden, it should grow good. So. Yeah, you've definitely had to deal with the weather. And, on that, as series owner, you've got no more hair to turn gray or pluck out, but how have you been dealing with it? Yeah. But it's what I do on that, Lee. Yes, I look at it, and I've got now to where I try to not even look till after Wednesday. I just don't even worry about it. And it's still hard to call anything. It's just like Ohio. Be honest with you, Ohio, I was sick Saturday morning. I done had all my racers up there, and I woke up at 6 o'clock, walking back and forth. It was pouring rain, and I was so worried about all my racers that done drove up there and what they had money they had spent. I wasn't going to be able to get this race in. And then finally, went and had a meeting with Randy and was sitting there talking with Tom. And Tom said, just give it to 12 o'clock. Well, we sat there and talked for a couple hours. By this time, it was already 10:30. And literally
walked outside, and it's just like, the man said, "Hey, we're going to put this race in, the sun come out." So it's so hard. I try not to stress over the rain. Yes, it's hard to not to say, "Oh, it's going to do this or it's going to do that." But up at Knoxville, there was not a chance one of rain. I mean, it was like we was all pumped up. Going to be perfect. Not a chance of rain one. And it's like every time that the A-gas cars pulled up there, it started sprinkling. It started raining on us. So,
yeah, y'all were the problem. Y'all were the problem.
I'm telling you, we was the problem. I don't know, but shoot, there was a couple times there I was about ready to try it wet. I mean, I tried to make a pass. I said, well, if I got to deal with it, the other person does too. But we got it in, and West and his crew done a great job getting the track prepped for us. And you talking about prep, that son was prepped. I mean, there's a couple of videos I posted, and I left, I had to change transmissions, different gear ratio. There's a couple of videos I posted. When I left, the car bogged. My car don't bog when it leaves, but it pulled it down a couple of times. I had to keep sticking more and more RPM into it to leave, and it just kept getting faster and faster. So they had the track. I don't know how or what, but it was good.
It was, like I mentioned before the start of the show, I don't know if anybody got a photo of it or not, but Jerry Dean, Superstock, first round of qualifying, that thing launched like an A-gas car. I mean, he looked like Adam Lowhorn. He looked like, anybody that's got a high launch out there in Sega. It was up there. I'm like, wow, he needs wheelie bars. Dang.
Yeah. And he probably got to the other end of his interview, said, "Oh, that pass there wasn't with a flip."
I hear you.
I loved it on that interview. Whenever they was interviewing him, he said, "Well, that other pass wasn't with a flip, but that there was pretty good." So I love that interview.
Man, I tell you. Yeah, the Not Bland show, he chimes in, is like, yeah, you need to start carrying some rabbit's foot and some sage, maybe do some Native American dances or something when you go to these places. And I
tell him I'm always doing dancing anyway. I don't know if it's Native American or what.
Look, if you all bring rain to Union County Dragway here in just a few weeks in South Carolina, in the middle of where it should be like the most balmy, hottest part, I mean, oh, come on. Y'all got to do something. I'm
telling you, I don't know. We talked to Mickey Thompson, maybe get a different tire or something. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, we're going to throw it way back. Yeah, just get the race in. That type of era for sure. Yeah. Well, Leslie, look, overall great drag race. That was a tremendous drag race. So many storylines, picturesque setting. And with all that said, though, we're here to talk to you in particular about, well, getting a win, a much-needed win. You've already made one final this year there at the first race of the year in Brainerd, but Kenneth Phillips came up with the win. And you've informed me as of right now, you're tied with Kenneth Phillips for leading the points. Now in Sega, that puts Kenneth a little over the edge if we're going to we're stopping things, but nonetheless tied right now going into the fifth race of the year. So though it seems like you've had a quiet year, you're right there in the thick of it. Going into Knoxville, where was your hot rod? Where were you as a driver, and what were you looking to accomplish? And obviously a win was it, and you did it.
Yeah, well, that's always what I'm looking to accomplish when I get there is a win, but also looking to accomplish a good show, looking to accomplish stuff for the fans, the racers. Yes, I want to win every time I go out there, but it don't seem to hurt me as bad as it used to if I don't. It's like I told Chase before we went out there. I said, Chase, if you win, I'm going to be more excited for you than you will be. So, and I truly would have been because of what a story that would be. But I did tell him, I said, but I ain't going to give it to you. He did say, hey, I'd like to get my transmission back before this race. And I told him, I said, if you'll give me 20 minutes, I can do that. And he laughed and he said, well, hey, don't say that because it might rain again. You might give it back to me. But anyway, it's just I'm happy for all of them. Yes, I'm out there to win. And yes, I want to be tough competition for my competitors. I want them to push. I want to push. If I get outrun, I want to go back and work and be faster. And fortunately, I have a crew behind me that helps me do that. Without the crew behind me, Lee, I probably wouldn't even be there. There's no probably to it. I wouldn't be there if it wasn't for Brian. It wasn't for Bob and everybody that goes with me and helps. And probably leaving some people out, I'm sure. Ram Clutch. I mean, Lee, I just don't know where I will be without them. But at the end of the day, I'm looking to make a good showing for my fans too. My car has a pretty good following. I think it needs to be out there. You know, I gave some consideration at the first of the season of parking it, but I'm a race car driver. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to be. So that's what I'm trying to maintain and do. And I'm trying to stay out of the business side of Sega as much as I can. I've got Randy and Rocky in place for that. They're doing a fine job. So there's just so many people there that I could think, you know, Steve, and I mean, it just goes on. Everybody there that comes to Sega is there again. We're going back to how can you explain what goes on there for the people that comes out and helps make this show happen. It's unreal.
Folks, hit the like button, hit the share button, please. Out in the comment section, we'll take your questions for Leslie if you've got them. And Leslie, you had, well, how can I put it? An erupting qualifying, a tearing effort, if you will.
Yes, I did. Woo, that was a rough one. It is still rough. I'm still struggling with it right now. But
yeah, you showed me the pictures. Your foot does not look good.
Nothing to do with the way I was born. It just don't look
right,
good.
Right.
Yeah, it's Lee. I tore the transmission out. I posted a video out there, and I just went to third. There wasn't no third there, and I knocked it in neutral, and I coasted as far as I could coast. And then when the car come down to about, I don't know, 1 or 2 miles an hour, I jumped out just going to help it push, you know, trying to get to the ticket booth because I knew my crew would be coming to get me, but I was trying to get there because I knew we didn't have much time before the first round, so we was going to have to do something with the transmission, either fix mine or come up with one. Fortunately, Chase had one that they let me borrow, and we was able to put it in 17 minutes, which was great. But as I was pushing about 5 or 6 steps in, all of a sudden, my left calf, something just popped in it. I mean, and if you watch the video, you can see my whole body tremble when it does it. You can see my jacket just tremble when it does. It's like I had got electrocuted or something, and I didn't know what it was. It actually felt like somebody took a golf club and swung it and hit me. And so then I hobbled a little bit, just kept on going, and adrenaline was flowing then. Then I finally got up to the pits, and I told Brian, I said, Brian, I've hurt my leg. I don't know what I've done. So I hobbled around, and he said, go see if Chase got a transmission. Anyway, I jumped on the thing with that and got it. But yeah, I got home, and I went and had it checked, and they really hadn't done nothing for it. They just said that there wasn't a whole lot they could do, that they thought I had a tear in one of my ligaments. And so wasn't good with that. So I went to an athletic chiropractor on Monday, and he checked it and said the same thing. He said I had like a stage 2 instead of a stage 1, meaning, and he explained it to me where I can understand because I'm a little slow. He said a stage 2 will take you probably 4 to 5 weeks to heal. A stage 1 will probably heal in 5 days. Well, everything was good. I went back to him yesterday. He put me through some exercises. And then yesterday evening at work, I was sitting around a lot yesterday because I was on the phone and I had customers all day. God, that thing got to killing me. So then I come home and it swelled up. My foot had turned black. So I might, after this little thing we're doing here, I may go down and try to have a MRI or something done on it to make sure everything's okay. I mean, I can walk on it. I just hobble a little bit. I just put a little bounce in it. It may look like I'm jiving when I'm walking, you know, like trying to be cool. But anyway, but it's, I don't know, it's going to be okay. But that's what happened in round 2. And that's what you was talking about on erupting, because it was something, you know, it's hard to believe. You know, you think you're still 25, but when you start doing some of this stuff, it tells you right quick that you ain't. It's about like getting off the back of a tailgate of a truck. You know, 20 years ago, you just jumped down. Now you have to be an engineer. You like, do I sit down? Do I slide? Do I get on my knees?
I mean, we're playing this out a little bit. You know?
Yeah. Thank you, Chevrolet, for putting a little step back there so I can grab on it and come off the side. Yeah.
Like if I don't execute this, I might execute myself.
I might get hurt. Yeah. So.
All right. Well, folks, look, we are going to take a quick break, and right after the break, we'll see round 1 and continue round by round with Leslie on this win at Knoxville Dragway.
Fly right in your motorsports endeavors with products and services from Dove Fuels. Pete Dove is the owner of Dove Fuels. He is a racer himself in a nitro-methane burning fuel altered, dubbed Back from the Ashes. He races with Driven Racing Oils, which produces a 70 weight nitro oil, but that is not all they make. They make applications for you on the oval track, whether that's dirt or asphalt, and for even you, the bracket racer on the drag strip. And if you need nitromethane, Pete Dove at Dove Fuels is the one to call for a drum or even supplying for an entire series, as he is the official supplier of nitro for Nitro Chaos. If it's nitromethane or driven racing oils, you need to contact Dove Fuels. Gentle name, Hardcore Products.
First round of A gas here.
Round one, boom, there it is. Your competitor shoots hard left. I actually talked to my girlfriend, Megan. She's there in that pink shirt, and driver took a beeline there. She's like, that wasn't that close. And I showed her later. She said, oh, that was closer than what I thought.
Marlon, he treated me a little bit. He was the only one that treated me all day. So, but yeah, that was a good run. They've been working on that car, and I've heard through the grapevine it's making good power. I think as soon as he gets that car ironed out, he's going to be up there, one of the front runners. But yeah, that was a pretty good pass. I got a little squirrely when I went to third. Like I say, the gear ratio changes. It changed every ratio all the way up, and it washed out a little bit going third. It still was a really good pass. It still run a pretty good number even at that. But yep, that was round one.
And from what I understand, you didn't even go into fourth in round one. Like the ratio.
Yeah, I thought I did go into fourth. I went back and watched the video, and I did pull it in fourth right there about the finish line. So I was mistaken on that. So I'm sorry about that, Lee. But yeah, I did get into fourth too. It's just the ratios was so different than what I'm used to running, and it still worked good. Don't get me wrong. So it's made me think that I might can look at some different stuff to pick up a little bit for what I might do. So it's gonna make me do some testing on some stuff, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, there you go. You've got something else in the notebook. You're there at Knoxville Dragway. You've got killer prep, different ratios, and the car performed the way in which it did. Yeah,
and it's something that I probably would not have ever tried. So that's the good thing about it, which there's a positive in everything that we do. Really, this whole weekend, for as much stuff that has went on, for me, and I know everybody else struggled too. I mean, I got there, my motorhome, the water pump was messed up on it. So guess what? Power Stroke Diesel, which was one of the ones that was sponsoring the race or helping there with the consolation race. Wes called them. They come over, put a water pump on, started up. Guess what? Alternator was locked up. So they had to get an alternator. And take in mind, this was all on a Friday evening when everything was closing. Found an alternator. Somebody waited on them to go get the alternator. They brought it back at like 6:30, put it on, got that squared away. Then the transmission goes out. Then it messed my leg up. But all of it's got a positive. The bad luck, you say, man, I got so much bad luck. But how lucky can you be from to have an alternator for a motorhome on a Friday that you can go get? Freightliner said they was 3 weeks out on getting one. So anyway, they was just positive every which way you look if you look at it. So.
Well, very good. Very good. You go on into round two, and the competition just keeps getting tougher and tougher in A-Gas. Everybody is so quick and so fast. Like you said, Marlon, that car looked the best I think I've ever seen it in action in person. They're getting up there with that machine. We had some new people in A-Gas with some quick and fast hot rods. So this was definitely a very stout field of, I believe, 16 cars total for A-Gas. It was a, theoretically full field, and it was close racing throughout. We'll take a look at your round two now.
Yeah, that was me and Todd. Todd just wasn't getting a hold of the track. He was having one of those days where he couldn't get down through there that good. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to talk to Todd. Like I say, by this time I was already hobbling around there like a crippled person, but I didn't get a chance to go talk to him after to see what went on with him, because Todd's always right there. He's right there neck and neck usually whenever we race, or either he outruns me most of the time.
Yeah, that was, again, I think it speaks to how good that track was and what you all were experiencing. You had some people, well, trying to figure out that starting line, and you know, it was a challenge for some to figure out. Not quite the kill care challenge. This was a opposite challenge of trying to get a hold of the starting line. So you continue to advance, and you know, by this time, you go into the semifinals. This is a big matchup going into the semifinals. This is a matchup where you've got Kenneth. He can extend his points lead, or as we now know, you can stop him and give yourself a chance to go on and tie him. And Kenneth has been, again, kind of quietly having a very good year. First win at the first race, and he has qualified number one at some places. He's been right there each and every weekend, clipping off rounds and staying on the top.
Yeah, he was number one qualifier at this race this weekend. He also got him some, what do you call it, Bristol stripes. Bristol, what's that thing called?
He did. There's more streaks on the silver streak.
Yes, yeah. He
instead of silver streak 2, it's like silver streak 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You know, yeah.
Yeah. He was trying to clean the facility up a little bit there on the wall for Wes and them. He was just trying to do his part. Stayed in it, still won that round. Then so it set us up for me and him. You know, and Kenneth, me and him, we go back and forth. We pick on each other. He did have his full small block in there, which I know is bad fast that he's got. So I knew it was going to be tough. I knew I was off 300 or 400 from where I was at Friday night. I knew I was going to have to be on the tree. And the thing about it with Kenneth, even being on the tree with Kenneth, a lot of times it don't help, because, I mean, I'll cut an 04 and I'll look, and I say, I cut a lot. He might cut a 008 or, you know, or a 01 or something. But I got fortunate this time, and I got lucky, and I cut an 04 to his 07. And the margin of victory was, what was it, 0.11 thousandths of a second. So I think he was running 131.18, and I was running 130.1 or something. So 131.1. So it was close. And I tell you how close it was, Lee. I went and got my ticket, and I had to open the door and ask the spine tingler, Randy. I said, "Did I win that one?" They said, "Yeah, you won it." I said, "All right," because it was that close. I just wasn't sure if I won or not, because I know they was having something with the lights about not coming on and coming on, wind light, this one working, this light there didn't. So I wasn't 100% sure. And I did hobble down there and talk to him afterwards, and he said, I thought I won that one. I said, "Well, you remember Ringo?" That's the same thing. I thought I won that one too. So I said, I guess we're even now. So anyway, we went on. But yeah, it was a tight race. And of all times, for my GoPro to not work, I mean, GoPros have got minds of their own. I can have 3 GoPros in my car, and I still can't get one pass out of them. So anyway, but yeah, it died. And so I didn't get that one or the one with Chase. And that really, really made me sad, because I like to have both of those passes.
Well, let's look at that close race now. Man, right down to the wire. Right down to the wire.
And even in that video,
so impressive.
Even in that video, it looked like he was ahead there, but I was ahead of him, I think, at the 60. But I think at the 330, when I looked at the numbers, he was right there. I mean, that would have been a good one on the video. That one would have topped the one of me and Ben Christopher that I posted a couple of times. I mean, it had to be like within just centimeters all the way down. It had to look like we was riding in the same car. So that would have been a cool one. I wish I could have got it.
Man, yeah, what a tremendous race. And again, it is so impressive throughout Sega Racing what you all are doing on, well, what are ancient drag racing platforms.
Yes.
I mean, I know in other areas there's modern things because, that's what you got to go and run with them, so on and so on. But, I mean, we're talking about, y'all aren't doing 4 links and you're not doing, independent suspension here and suspended with this. I mean, it is amazing that it's 130 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And I tell you, Knoxville's a little bit of a short shut down there on the other end too. So it caught me out a little bit. I can't remember if it was with Kenneth or if it was with Chase, but I got excited. It had to be Chase because I wasn't sure if I won with Kenneth, and I forgot to get on the brakes early enough. And boy, I shot around down there, around that turn down there. Looked like I was at a dirt track going around there to the other end. I probably turned down there at 60 mile an hour through that curve. But I was glad to get her woed up. But it will catch your attention down there in the A-gas cars, especially on a good pass.
All right, so final round. Going up against Chase, you've already expressed, we've talked about that great story. You even saying, hey, if you win, I'm proud of you, but, I'm not going to give it to you. You're borrowing his transmission. Great storylines all around. But from a practical standpoint, this race is much later into the evening, into the night than anyone intended. Sega runs a very good, tight program. We've seen that at Shadyside. We got out on time, if you will, but because of weather, we've pushed it back at Knoxville. How different had the track changed? What were the transitions you all were seeing? And by the time you go to the final round, what decisions had Brian made? What have y'all thrown in the car? What do you expect to get out of it?
Brian made a little slight adjustment on the rear shocks, and I tried to, you'll hear me sometimes when I pull up there, I'm seesawing the throttle. I'm trying to watch the tack, and I'm trying to leave it a little bit more, and I'm afraid if I leave too much more, it's done got cold. Is it going to blow the tires off? It's dew on the track and all. But I did try to leave it a couple hundred more RPMs, and the car left and done good. But that's really about all we changed. I mean, I told Brian coming home, I said, man, I believe I could almost left just like it was when I was driving the stud moving. I might could have left to the floor, which I couldn't. Nobody tore something up would have done that. Somebody would have got run over probably. But anyway, it was just taking whatever we was doing, and we just kept trying to creep up on it because I just kept thinking at any time I was going to set still when I dumped the clutch out. But it held it and it pulled and it done good. So we made it. We made it into the finals with my buddy Chase. I was glad that he was there, and I mean, there again, I don't want to get on that horse again, but I'm telling you, Lee, if he would have won, I'd have been in tears of joy for him, to come back after what he's been through. But there again, we racers, we ain't going to lay down for nobody. And, I don't ever want nobody to lay down for me, and I don't ever expect me to lay down for nobody, no matter what it is. I don't matter what's involved in it. So I don't know but one way, and that's to try to get there as fast as I can every time. So anyway, here we go to the race.
Leslie.
I just called him. I caught Chase a little bit there. He had rolled in a little different. Talked to him afterwards, and he had rolled in by accident, turned the stage light on off the get-go. It might have thrown him off the game a little bit, but as you can tell by the shot there, I treated him pretty good on the tree, and his number has slowed down a little bit too. But once you get out of your rhythm and you get a little behind, you usually miss your shifts and stuff, and it slows you down. But yeah, it's just one of them days. You've heard me say it before. Is some days you can't do nothing right. Some days you can't do nothing wrong. And it was just my day. I got lucky. Can't we say that because of Quayne?
I was about to say, lucky, man. I got to throw it back out there as I as I gave it to you there in the last interview of the night. Chase beat Quayne, you beat Chase. Therefore, did you ultimately beat Quayne by the end of the day?
Yeah, I was lucky. I'm gonna get me a shirt too, mate. It says "Lucky, Lucky, Lucky" on it, so I can wear it.
Hey, hats off to the whole crew, though. That was great to see. Lucky, 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 the clover leaves and everything, and being in green. That was fun.
Yeah, it was. And, I even got a picture. I think I shared it last night of me and him with his shirt on. But anyway, it's where that all comes from. Years ago, I'm gonna tell a story on Quayne, and I probably shouldn't. Years ago, we was racing, and he was talking about something being lucky or something. He says, "No, I'm not ever lucky. I don't only like somebody to call me lucky because my car's just better prepared, or I was a better driver, or whatever. I can't stand when somebody calls me lucky." So he shouldn't have never told me that, because I jumped on it and I rode that lucky, lucky, lucky. So that's the reason why that's been so prominent out there here lately about him being lucky, is because of that, because I'm picking on him. He took it good. He's doffed off a little bit back and forth with me, and I hope I didn't hurt his feelings too bad, but anyway, we'll get a chance to line up again here pretty soon, I hope, if he could ever make it past the first round. So hopefully one day we'll get to line up.
Oh, man. Well, you hopefully might get to line up at the next two events. So we just completed the Molly Motorsport Nationals there at Knoxville Dragway. The fourth race of the year for the Southeast Gassers Association will be rolling into the Dixie Nationals at Union County Dragway there in Union, South Carolina, June 21st, 22nd. And then the One-Way Technologies Summer Nationals at London Dragway, London, Kentucky, July 19th, 20th. Those are the next two events coming up. Leslie, Union County, this is the first time I believe Sega has been there in a points earning scenario. There have been exhibition passes made, but this is for real.
Yeah, this is the first time that I've ever been there in a points earning thing, and I'm looking forward to it. I've been wanting to go to Union for a while. I went there and done some testing before. The track, the facility, plenty of parking. The track is really nice and wide. It's just a good facility, and we got the Joker. The Joker's going to come in next week, I think, and we're going to do some testing with the Joker and see if he can pick up a little bit of speed and stuff. That son gun, he travels around the world. I think he traveled 30-something thousand miles last year, and he was at Knoxville, and he was going out the gate. I was in the victory circle thing there, and he tooted the horn and waved, and everybody in the whole crowd there was waving at him. I thought that was just I don't know, something about it. I just thought that was cool how everybody just waved at him like he was in a parade. And I mean, we really appreciate him, and I do. And he's become a good buddy of mine, and I love to pick on him. I love his accent. I'm sure he loves our accent too. But anyway, I'd like to see him make a few rounds this year, if there's any way that he can. So I don't know how. Like I say, I ain't gonna give him nothing though. So he'll have to earn it. So anyway, but hopefully we'll get to spend some time with him next week. Not this coming week, but the next week. He's gonna come down a little early, and he said he's gonna need a car to do. He don't know it yet. I've got my smart car over here. I'm gonna get it ready for him and Leah. And they got to go to the airport and pick up Dusty and Justin, and I'm gonna see if he can go pick them up in that smart car. I might even have a decal put on the door that says the Joker from Waipaca, Wisconsin.
Very good, very good. Yes, the Stelts, the whole gang there, the Joker Racing, good folks indeed. The One-Way Technologies Summer Nationals at London Dragway. Well, very quickly, let's touch on One-Way Technologies, their importance to the Southeast Gassers Association, and then the beautiful setting that is London Dragway.
Yes. Well, One-Way Technologies, they have been there for, golly, I guess, Sam come in with his wagon at the same time I had the wagon in C-Gas, so I'm thinking that's somewhere around 18 or 19. Sam, just a great, great, great guy. He was a tremendous loss whenever we lost him to the racing world. And Jeff and all of them, they've worked so hard on these heads and stuff because we've got such strict rules on running these heads. I don't know where the Southeast Gassers would be without One-Way Technology. I know that it wouldn't be as fast as it is. I do know that. And But they do a wonderful job, and they're not only that, they're just absolutely wonderful people, all of them. Every time, even when I first met them, even when they was running the pie wagon, Mama's Pie Wagon, they was always been super nice and super respectful to me, and likewise backwards. But he's at PRI. I spent some time with him 2 years ago in his booth and looked at his heads and stuff, and just a super. I can't say enough for that whole gang. I mean, just great people.
What's your record there at London Dragway? How have you done in the Stud Muffin and also in the Shake Magnet?
London, I have won at London. Believe it or not, let me see. I think no, it wasn't the first race. I remember on my anniversary back in, I think it was 19, my anniversary was on a Saturday. I didn't even go to the race. We had a lot of stuff going on with Lexi, graduating school and all that stuff, so I didn't even go. Well, later at night, I think Larry was up there with Billy, and they said it rained it out. They was going to run it Sunday, and they didn't even – I don't think they had qualified, or maybe they had one round of qualifying. So me and Logan loaded up that night early in the morning and took off up there, and I won that race. And I think it was in 19. But you talk about a good feeling to win that race after that, and then I run Billy Edwards, and when I run him, I think that done his career in after that. I don't think I seen him no more after that. But anyway, that was a good one. And I can't remember. I'd have to walk up here and look at my trophies to see. I'm not one of those that keeps up with every little thing that I've done. I'm pretty sure I've won an A-gas race there at London also. But, man, that's just that setting up there. You got to go to see it. It's up on top of a mountain. It's in the middle of the Daniel Boone State Park. I mean, you start to go in, you go up this little road, and you're like, where in the world am I going? And then you get there, and it's all opened up and leveled. And, I mean, it's a great facility, and I hope that we have a good turnout there, and I hope that people come out and support that race, and so we can continue to keep going there.
It is a beautiful setting for sure. Great place to have a drag race, and Sega certainly fits there well. Well, Leslie, congratulations on the win. Congratulations on Sega still running strong. Anything else before we let you go?
Not really, other than just, thank you for all the sponsors, everybody that tunes in. Thank you for all the likes. I am going to work on my YouTube channel a little bit. I've had a couple of people reach out to me and said, hey, work on the YouTube channel. I also wanted to mention, going back to A-Gas, you said we had that full field of 16 cars. We've got 3 top-notch cars coming. I mean, 3 front runner coming. One of them should be at Union, and that is Mike Schwartz with his Willis. I'm not sure what the name of it is now. I've seen it, but I can't remember. But him and Alan Pittman has built a beautiful car. I mean, it is bar none beautiful. I can't wait for you to see it, Lee. And it should be at Union. It will have a Fulton big block in it also. We got another Willis coming out of Tennessee. I don't know a whole lot about it. We got another Willis coming out of Alabama with a small block Ford. It ain't quite got here yet. We got the 63 Corvette coming back. Don't think he's going to make Union. He might be ready for the one after Union. So we've got a lot of people coming into A-Gas and jumping in the water with us, and that's good. I love all of them to come. I wish we'd get to a point where we had 20, 25 cars in A-Gas. That'd be wonderful.
I agree. Leslie, congratulations on the win. Hill up, and we'll see you at, well, for me, the next one for Sega will probably be Mooresville. So hopefully see you in North Carolina.
I'm sorry for you, Lee. I'm sorry you ain't gonna get to see me at the next one, and I'm sure you're heartbroken, but I'll be there. Even if I got a 2x4s wrapped in my leg, I'll be there.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Things are going well. Keep up the good work, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you for all your coverage, man. We appreciate you. You don't know how much we all appreciate you. And I mean, just the stuff that you do is, and as quick as you get it put out is, I mean, it's just awesome, man. And I can't thank you enough for everything that you do for all of us at Sega. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it. Leslie, have a good day.
Yeah, you too, buddy. Bye.
Folks, that was Leslie Horne, the winner of A-Gas at Knoxville Dragway for the Molly Motorsports Nationals there. on old Rocky Top. We're going to take a quick break. Right after the break, drag racing news with a word from Mr. Narks and team over at Drag and Drive Addiction on the world of drag and drive.
McKinny Motorsports is your #1 source for all your chassis needs. McKinny Motorsports is the leading chassis parts supplier and fabricator in nitro drag racing. From custom tanks and fittings, full chassis builds, body mounts, steering components, fasteners, tabs, clamps, composite parts, and much more. Our household name in the racing world guarantees added performance on the track. Join our list of proven winners that spans over 50 years of racing experience.
Hey guys, it's Mike Narks, the host of the Drag Drive Repeat news and show.
And I'm Eric White, the co-host of the Drag Drive Repeat news and show. And we want to let you guys know about some upcoming Drag and Drive events.
Yeah, that's right, Eric. I'm excited about this. Drop the Hammer, Martin, Michigan, May 31st through June 2nd, dude. US 131 Motorsports Park.
Yep. And then the next one is the Olympic Drag and Drive, which is also May 31st through June 2nd at Bremerton Raceway in Port Richard, Washington.
Yeah, man, all the way across the country. Then in the middle, we've got Six Summer 2024 taking place at Byron Dragway in Byron, Illinois.
Yep, which we will both be on site for that event. And then we have Big Sky Race Week, which is June 16th through 23rd at Yellowstone Drag Strip in Acton, Montana.
Yeah, and then following that, right up on the 23rd is Rocky Mountain Race Week from June 23rd to 28th, hosting its race week this year in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I'm going to be there for the first 3 days.
So if you guys want to hear more about other upcoming events or results from past events, we will send that information over to Lee at Monday Morning Racer.
All right, guys, thanks a bunch.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you, Michael. Thank you, Eric. They're doing such a great job covering the world of drag and drive, which is a tremendous section of the drag racing world. If you have not experienced a drag and drive event, you certainly need to do that. Take a vacation, travel along with them, see the sights, get the sights, the smells, enjoy where they're going, and dive into all the storylines. Yeah, vacationing with a traveling drag race. That sounds like a good vacation. They go to some great places throughout the country, whether it's Hot Rod Drag Week or Sick Week in its many renditions, or Rocky Mountain Race Week. That is a long-standing one that is well known and quite prestigious in that world, but they're popping up throughout the country as well. The drag and drive scene is a tremendous scene in drag racing. And again, expect to see those newsreels, if you will, from Eric and Michael more often. Want to just give, them more exposure, and you all right here on Between the Slicks hear more about drag and drive with their drag drive repeat show and platform. Be sure to catch them when they go live as well. In the world of drag racing, obviously the eyes of the drag racing world are going to be on Thunder Valley this weekend. The NHRA Mission Foods rolls into town along with Pro Mod and Mountain Motor Pro Stock. The Legends Nitro Funny Car Series is there. It's my intention, as I leave later on today, to be there Saturday and Sunday to cover Mountain Motor Pro Stock and the Legends Nitro Series with those neo-nostalgia funny cars taken to the strip for the second time there at Bristol Dragway. June 7th, starting the day through the 9th, and tremendous drag racing takes place there in Thunder Valley. Who will come away with the wins? Well, we're going to have to see. But if you've never been to Bristol Dragway, and if you've got time this weekend, I really don't care where you're from or where you're at, take the time to get to Bristol Dragway. What a beautiful setting for a drag strip. It is a track that does produce a unique sound with the echo, the funneling of all that horsepower coming out of those pipes for the nitro cars. It does sound different than most venues. It is a great track. Honestly, though you might look at ZMAX, and as it is, usually stated with ZMAX that it's the Bellagio of drag strips. And I agree, it is. It's very commercialized. It's very sterile, if you will. But you go to somewhere like Bristol, I think Bristol is the top Bruton track because it's got the setting. It's got the amenities. It's got the quaintness. It feels like you've rolled into a small, I know everybody that works at this track type of setting, but on a grand stage with all the amenities. That is Bristol Dragway. Such a great setting. If you have not been there, you've got to go to Bristol Dragway. So be on the lookout for coverage from the NHRA Thunder Valley Nationals this weekend, presented by Super Grip, the Super Grip Thunder Valley Nationals at Bristol Dragway, concerning Mountain Motor Pro Stock and the Legends Nitro Funny Car Series. Remember, you can catch the A-Gas action already on the Monday Morning Racer YouTube channel. It's up to about 11,000 views. Thank you for supporting the channel. If you're watching this and you have not subscribed to the Monday Morning Racer YouTube channel, please do so. Go catch the action, the A-Gas action on the channel right now. Gassers on Rocky Top from Knoxville Dragway, and you're going to get the storylines that, well, beyond, and also what we talked about with Leslie here on the show just a few minutes ago. He mentioned the Joker. Greg Stelz and Leah Stelz took a tour of his facility there in Wapaka, Wisconsin. What a great shop he has got. You want to take the time to go watch this video. Not necessarily because I did it or it's because it's such a great video. We can debate on it being a great video or not. I'll just say it might not be the best video, but his place and his story is one that you want to see and you want to hear. So if you have not watched this video, definitely go do so on the Monday Morning Racer YouTube channel. Well, folks, drag racing is alive and well, and there is plenty to take in. And I hope wherever you are at this weekend that, well, go support your local track. Go enjoy the drag races. As Crystal Buzz Brown is mentioning, that it was extremely hot. Well, that can't happen at Bristol. It can happen at Knoxville, too. It can happen at a lot of drag strips. Racing does happen in the summer. It can be blistering at times. It can also be cold. Last year at Bristol, it seemed like we had all the weather roll in, rain and some delays and sunshine and warmth, all of it, it seemed like, just like Knoxville last weekend. But get out there and support your local track, whatever that local track is and whatever they are hosting. Drag racing is happening all across the country. I'm looking forward to, in just a couple of weeks, getting back to Chaos action. Chaos will be at Cordova Dragway there in Cordova, Illinois for their Summer Nationals. Funny Car Chaos will be competing, and right after Cordova, the Nitro edition of the Chaos Nation, Nitro Chaos, will be at Edgewater Motorsports Park just outside of Cincinnati for the second return to that facility for Nitro Chaos and the Nitro Chaos second year of championship touring, burning nitro. Folks, thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Leslie Horne, for your time. Remember all the action that you can catch on Monday Morning Racer as shared with you on the show and also beyond. There is plenty of content on the YouTube channel. Thank you. Hit the like button, hit the share button. I'm Lee Kraft, a.k.a. the Monday Morning Racer, on the Monday Morning Racer platform. Thank you to the Competition Plus audience on Facebook. Everyone, enjoy your weekend. God bless, and keep the pedal to the metal.
Power-Built Tools exemplifies innovation in the tool industry. From hand tools, power tools, and even tool storage. Check out powerbuilt.com for power-built tools. And remember, use promo code MMR15 for 15% off at purchase.